I know your story, but some of the audience may not know your story. Prior to you becoming who you are today, tell us a little bit about how you came about becoming who you are today.
I'm an only child, born in Baltimore. My parents did not graduate from college or high school. My father worked in the post office and made maybe $10,000 a year. When they retired, he retired at the age of 55 and moved to a suburb of Baltimore called West Palm Beach, Florida. And I grew up going to public schools. I did get a scholarship to go to Duke University, and I got a scholarship to go to the University of Chicago. I did serve as chairman of the board of Duke University for a while, and now I'm chairman of the University of Chicago board. And I got very lucky in my business career. I started Carlyle when I was 37. It became one of the larger private equity firms in the world. And now I committed to giving away all my money. I was an original signer of the Giving Pledge, and I've made large gifts to lots of different places around the country. And I have 3 children. They are all MBAs. They're all in private equity, pursuing what I call mankind's highest calling. And they're doing okay. And so I think they're safely launched, and they don't need me to give them billions of dollars to be successful.
David, who were you in high school? If we're in 10th grade, who were you in high school?
I was a nerdy little kid. If you ask my high school class who would be the most successful person in the class, most people wouldn't know I was in the class. I was a large public high school, 1,500 people in my class.
In your class?
Wow. My class. So it was big. We had one guidance counselor for 1,500 people. It was, I would say, a big public high school, melting pot public high school. But I skipped a year of junior high school, so I was only, 16 when I graduated high school. I was only 14 when I entered it. So I was, probably young. My voice probably hadn't changed very much. And, I was not a great athlete. I wasn't a great scholar. I wasn't a great anything. So the same was true in law school and in college. I wasn't great at anything. I got lucky later in life. I determined in parts of life, if you divide life into thirds, the first third, you often find the people are the superstars, the Rhodes Scholars, the Supreme Court clerks, the people that are the student body presidents. Sometimes they make it later on in life, but mostly they don't. And then the people in the second third and third third, they're the ones who kept working hard like the tortoise versus the hare, and they kind of passed everybody else. So think about your high school class. Who was a superstar in that class? The person you said might be President of the United States. He or she may not be that famous now. Of the people who became presidents of the United States in the last 100 years, only one of them was probably seen as a good student or as a star at that time. That was probably Bill Clinton. He was a pretty good student and was later became a Rhodes Scholar. Most of the people who become presidents of the United States are not people that were that famous or that well known. Our current president, very nice person. I know him quite well. But, he was a football player in high school, not considered to be likely president of the United States. His predecessor, Donald Trump, probably wasn't thought to be potential president of the United States when he was younger, and so on. So it's just the life evolves that way, and you can't tell who's going to be coming the next president of the United States just by looking at their resumes when they were in high school. I don't know your background that well, but were you a superstar in high school? Now you're very well known.
I was crushing it. I had a 1.8 GPA. Literally, I had a 1.8 GPA.
Okay.
I failed biology, and I was good in math. That was it.
All right. So now you're very well known. You're prominent, and so forth. In your high school class, who would have predicted that you would become this successful?
Zero.
Right.
I went to the Army right after high school.
Well, look, I didn't go in the Army. My father was in the Marines. I didn't go, and I was too skinny. I didn't think I'd pass the physical.
Nice. Father was the devil dog.
Were you a superstar in high school?
I was not. 2.2 GPA. So over here, commonality, 1.8, 2.2 GPA, no college degree between
Wait a second.
the two.
Between the two,
Marines.
you guys are 4.0 between the two of you.
Correct. I love your addition.
Right.
It's Marine Corps math.
There you go. So David, so you have 3 kids, but you were the only child. So, and then your kids went to private equity, but your dad was in the postal service, and your mom was a homemaker. So, what was the advantages of being a single child? Was it disadvantages to make you want to have 3 kids because you didn't have only 1 kid?
When you are an only child, at times you might say, "What it's like? Wouldn't it be great to have a sibling?" But most of my friends who have siblings were fighting with them all the time. And now I notice that most of my friends who have siblings probably don't spend that much time with them as adults. So there's pluses and minuses like everything in life. I don't regret it. If you look back and regret things that happen in your life, you'll be very miserable. The hardest thing in life to do is to be happy. That's the most elusive thing in life, achieving personal happiness. And I'm pretty happy. I got lucky in life, and I'm reasonably happy with where I am now. I wish I was younger looking. I wish I didn't have all this gray hair. I wish I could lose more weight. I wish I was in greater shape. But generally, I'm reasonably happy. And if you're Jewish, that's hard to do. So I'm reasonably happy. But I recognize that happiness is difficult to achieve, and many people in life go through life not being very happy. They're sad that they're not wealthier or handsomer or whatever it is, and they never achieve personal happiness. You have to accept where you are and try to make the best of it within reason. You can obviously try to do better.
So with all the craziness taking place, I believe future looks bright. If you believe future looks bright, get your latest Future Looks Bright hat of Valuetainment. It says Future Looks Bright here, Future Looks Bright here. We got them in white, we got them in black, we got them in red. Our black on black sold out. These are about to sell out. If you haven't ordered one yet, we had a person in Michigan, bought one, then he bought 3. Then when those 3 people weren't in the office, they had to order 58 of them because people wanted the Future Looks Bright hat, especially during times like this, because ain't nobody saying Future Looks Bright. To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here. And to watch the entire podcast, click here. Take care, everybody.